that so naturally.
Thank you. Don't I?
Yeah, you do.
It's called talent.
I know. That's why we're here on the TV show. Welcome back. Larry Aarons with Amber Hendren here on the Morning Brew. And this segment is brought to you by our friends at the Albuquerque Theater Guild. There you go. Check out online, the abqtheater.org. Tell you all about what's playing on stage this weekend and for the month of October and all of that. Brian Hansen joins us. Amber?
Good
Brian,
morning,
of course,
Brian.
Good morning.
Yeah,
How are you,
welcome.
Amber?
He's a director at the Adobe Theater, and welcome back to the show. Good to have
Thank you
back.
very much, Larry.
Yeah.
So you've got a wonderful new play coming up.
Absolutely.
It's
We're
not
very proud
really
of it.
new, but the theme is still very current.
Absolutely. When we first chose this play, we thought, well, let's see, will it be out of date? But then looking at the current economy, we say, no, it's
Not
not
at
out
all.
of date. If anything, it's even more extreme than it was. Can I tell you a little bit about
Please
it?
do.
Barbara Ehrenreich, who is a social critic and a PhD teacher, and she went undercover back in the late 90s, and her attempt was to find out how she could live, if she could live, at entry-level pay, working as a waitress, working at an unidentified large store called Mall Mart, and that kind of thing. In other words, how possible was it to live on entry-level minimum wage jobs? And the answer is, it's impossible. And the subtitle of her book, which is called Nickel and Dimed, is called Not Making It in America. She thought, with her background, with her brains, with her health, surely she could do it. And the answer is no, she couldn't. So the book that came out of that, called Nickel and Dimed, is an expose of what it's like at the working poor level in America, of which there is something in excess of 30 million Americans work for $8 or less an hour. Then Joan Holden took the book and did an adaptation of it, and that's the adaptation that we're doing at the Adobe Theater right now. We play through October 5th.
Excellent. And it just seems like she had the $7 an hour job, and it wasn't enough. Then she had to tack on another low-paying job and another low-paying job.
Absolutely.
And it was just this never-ending cycle of exploitation and poverty and
Absolutely.
despair
And
exhaustion.
And humiliation. That's one of the things that almost all the co-workers that she works with are women. And they are juggling families. They're trying to take care of their kids at the same time that they're showing up to work a second shift at some unidentified store called Mall Mart. And throughout it all, Barbara discovers that somehow they are doing what she couldn't, which is somehow toughing it out. And they're living in their cars. They're exploited in every possible way.
Wow.
Sounds pretty grim, but actually it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun making $7 an hour.
Right.
Is there some humor in this at all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In a way, it's a story of the sort of triumph of the human spirit, in the sense that these women, and they're almost all women, are in fact finding ways to do it. And Ehrenreich's point with the book and Joan Holden's treatment of the play is that the working poor in America are subsidizing us, the middle class, because they're working at such low wages that we can have a higher standard of life. We're the anonymous donors that make our life possible. They are the anonymous donors that make our life possible.
So in the book, Barbara's pretty hard on herself.
Yeah, she is. And what she does is she finds that time and time again, first of all, she's shocked and can't keep her mouth shut. That's one of the sources of humor, because she occasionally just blows up. And she says, why do you stand for this? What enables you to ask these people to clock out and then continue working, essentially working for free? So that's one of the things she has to learn, is to keep her mouth shut. Another thing she has to learn is just how to keep going when you're dead tired, when things are just going completely to pieces. How do you just keep plunging on? And so she becomes the butt of many of the jokes internally in the play.
Now, the author, Barbara, how long did she do this? A year?
No, she actually she only did it for I think 5 months or something like that. She worked in 3 different states: Florida, Maine, and Minnesota. She worked at, I'm going to do this from memory, about 7 different jobs, including everything from waitressing to stocking shelves to working for a home cleaner program to working in a retirement home, and of course working at a big box store. So she, you know, and as she herself points out, she could leave any time. Unlike the people in this thing,
They were trapped.
They were trapped, absolutely, Larry. And she, time and time again, says, I copped out. That's why she's so hard on herself. She said, I did, or I am doing, as she's saying it in the play, exactly what these women cannot do, which is leave, or tell the boss to forget about it. She's not going to put up with this. At one point, she has a rant where she just goes on and on and on and on and on about the woman who is hiring them to clean her house, and then she stops and she looks at the audience and says, "Am I being shrill?" And at one point, I don't mean to give anything away, but at one point, because the play is so interestingly written, they break out of the play mode and begin to talk with the audience about what they think the entry-level wage should be for the kind of jobs they're doing.
Interesting.
I won't give it away, but it is.
So it's kind of interactive then.
Oh, very interactive.
Incredible.
Interesting. When are you opening, or give us the schedule on this?
Well, we've been open since the 12th of September. We play through October 5th. So we have 2 more weekends.
Good,
We play
good.
Friday and Saturday nights at 8 o'clock and Sunday afternoons at 2.
What are audiences reacting? What's the reaction?
Well, the reaction has been fabulous.
Yeah.
Audience members come up to me and say, this was that perfect combination of an absolutely entertaining show from which I learned a great deal. And I guess what my hope is that people will have some empathy for all those, let's say those motel maids that we pass in the hallway without saying hello to, and we suddenly realize, wait, they're human beings. They've
Sure.
got their lives too.
Leave them a tip.
Yes.
Leave them a
absolutely.
tip. Literally, seriously.
Absolutely leave them a tip.
Hey,
And
Brian.
leave them a good tip.
A good tip.
Thank you. You always bring us interesting stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
And
You have a
Hansen with
wonderful
Adobe
theater.
It's,
incredible.
it's a terrific theater.
Segment brought to you by our friends at the Albuquerque Theater Guild, abqtheater.org. Find out what's playing. Okay, we'll be back with more on the Morning Brew after this.